Hold on, as I see fit. Um, hey, y'all. We are, yeah. We're, how are y'all today? We are live. We are live. Today, first of all, if you're new to me, welcome. I am the Oracle Treehouse, aka the Intuitive Rebel Healer, and I'm a healer. I'm a student of Tao, student of Qigong, student and teacher and student rather, of this here thing called life via the Tao. I do healings, I do readings. I hope y'all reawaken, because that's what it's all about. Reawakening, because we are in a time of that. This reawakening, this becoming as one in mind, body, and spirit. And yeah, some of us who walk this path, yeah, but that's what it's all about though, because we're the same, but we're different. If you understand the Tao, if you've ever picked up a copy of the Tao Te Ching, the Tao Te Ching is a book of 81 verses that talks about life, talks about nature, talks about how nature moves and how we're all connected. And they say those 81 verses can be applied to any part of your life to help you understand. I've been applying that to my life and seeing now as the big picture, the big Tao, the verse that has stood out for me. Well, there are a couple of verses. Verse 39 and verse 31. Hello. Welcome, 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 y'all. Welcome in. We're talking about the Tao. Oh, and we also, I forgot the title of this. Our beloved 47 has partially decriminalized beloved flower. I'm going to say flower because I don't know what's up over here. So, yeah. And there's this book. There's several books now on the subject, but back in the day, we had our early birds, our fire starters. And this awesome, awesome woman, feminine energy, wrote this book called The Benefits of, you guessed it. And interestingly enough, this is actually one of the, whatchamacallits I want to get. I'm going to get that. But yeah, and I think at the level that he has legalized it, he's legalizing it for people to do studies on it. Not that people haven't already been doing studies on it. So yeah, and actually, your girl book the benefits of physical, psychological, and spiritual, Miss Jane Bellow goes into um, just that, the physical, the psychological, and the spiritual connections. Please go get a copy of this book before, because I'm just saying. Anywho, there's another book that I read from called Flower Spirituality. It doesn't have the author, but the dude, Gray, Alex Gray edited it, and it's a combination of different articles talking about said flower and its characteristics, its abilities. Yeah. So, but I wanted today to come up here and read a little bit of what my girl Jane Bellow is talking about in her book about the benefits. And I just turned to a part where she talks about the holistic understanding of said flower. And I know some of y'all, I can hear y'all in the ethers. Well, Oracle, what does this have to do with Tao? A lot. A lot, actually. There is definitely a juxtaposition. Yeah. Yeah. Especially my beloveds, brothers and sisters in India. So, yeah, go do your research. But here's a piece of the book called The Holistic Understanding. Check this out. Mind, as the finest instrument of human processing, operates through the mechanical processes of the brain and goes out to experience, see, and interpret the surroundings. The natural proposition, propensity, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and main function of the brain is to serve as a vehicle by which the individual consciousness can realize by its relationship with the world itself. In this understanding, the optic nerve is the organ whereby nearly half of all, nearly half of all brain, nearly half of all data, is detected to be deciphered and interpreted by the mind through the brain. The task of protection, nourishment, and cleansing are regulated to the automatic processes of balance, allowing for the higher centers to focus on more complex decisions. In the ancient science of medicine of India, I just said India earlier, organs degenerate because of overuse, underuse, or misuse. In glaucoma, however, whatever is interpreted by the brain as not beneficial causes the ANS to respond, creating tension in the face of a perceived threat. This is an unconscious process that defines a personality type. If this reaction is long term without relief, and if there is the corresponding constitutional weaknesses at that particular location, the organ degenerates. No doubt glaucoma has psychological underpinnings, and that outward intervention is needed to facilitate the chronically non-relaxed person organ. Flower therapy serves the subtle parameters for relief of the complex symptoms of glaucoma by potentially exposing the root of tension and eliminating its draining response. Hello. Its draining response. Wait a minute. Exposing or eliminating its draining response. Analysts suggest an indirect effect associated with relaxation. So glaucoma, that interesting. And y'all have probably heard that before. Matter of fact, I think back in the day that was like the first time I had started hearing the benefits of the flower was with the whole glaucoma thing. Oh, Granny need to shrimp, you know what I'm saying? It'll clear up that glaucoma real good. But if you look at it from a holistic perspective, that makes a lot of sense. The data that we are absorbing, the energy, the frequency, the vibration we are absorbing with our eyes has an effect on us to the point of our physical health. Interesting. If you're just joining, this is the Oracle Tree House. I am the Oracle Tree House, aka the Intuitive Rebel Healer, and today's Tao session. Not only are we talking about Tao, but we're talking about the spiritual, psychological, and physical benefits of flower. Yeah, because there are some very, like I said in the caption, they have it. The hippies knew what the fuck they were talking about. The hippies knew. And one of them wrote an awesome book called the benefits of flower. I'm not going to say the word. Physical, psychological, and spiritual. Now there is a section where she goes in on the psychological benefits. I'm gonna let y'all buy the book to check out those psychological benefits. We're gonna do the spiritual benefits of the flower. Divine Vision is by Joan Bellow. In the cycle, unending of growth and pain, towards the circles bending to goodness again, the time returns to stand apart. It's come once more to stock the heart. We have become a complex decay. A simple flower saves the day. The spark of the seed is holy and pure. The sight in the weed is offered for cure. As the spirit within the dove, flower offers love. Be a temple, use the tools. Truth and flowers are God's jewels. Divine vision personified, and a plant simplified, with our reason nullified, by our laws crucified. Ooh, girl. Joan. Miss Bello. Wow. Miss Bello. Girl. And if you're just joining, welcome. I am the Oracle Tree House, aka the Intuitive Rebel Healer, and today we are reading from the book, The Benefits of the Flower, Physical, Psychological, and Spiritual Benefits by Joan Bellow. Oh my God. That poem was awesome. That poem is so dope. I love it. Okay. So, chapter 4, Spiritual Benefits, the Third Dimension. It is relatively easy to demonstrate that marijuana is that flower is healthy for the body since its physiological benefits can be tested objectively as well as subjectively by flower users. Psychological stability, although not quite so readily measurable, depends on integration between the consciousness and unconsciousness flow of ideas. Again, the effects of flower corresponds to the acceptable framework of healthy awareness. However, when we address the benefits of flower upon the inner fabric of humanness, we begin to tread on thin ice. Since this inner world cannot be seen or measured, the materialistic perspective tends to ignore its existence. In many societies, experimentation with growth beyond an effective ego is not encouraged. In fact, it involves an investment of energy that detracts even temporarily from one's material productivity. It may be actually discourage investing time or energy into developing oneself beyond the ego level may be better understood or appreciated by a society where economic success and material possessions are not the major criteria by which one is judged. Experimentation with higher states of consciousness may be regarded with suspicion or considered wasteful nonsense. Interesting. Aja. Oh my God. Ooh. Can we unpack that? Can we unpack that right there? Because I know for me, when I first took that journey down this beautiful goddess aisle, yo, your girl felt good. And I'm sure you all have. And to all my writers out there, yeah. But now, up until now, because if you haven't heard, 47 then allowed for people to study said flower. Okay, cool, bet. But what they already know, though, what they already know, what they already know. And by the way, I'm reading from a book that Joan Bellow wrote called The Benefits of the Flower, Physical, Psychological, and Spiritual. And we're on chapter 4 of this book, The Spiritual Benefits. Miss Joan Bellow goes on to talk about, in the era of private values, flower may offer benefits beyond the personal ego, which reach the dimension referred to by mystics and saints as the ever-present now. The experience addresses states of consciousness not common to the common man. No. Do I have to? Oh, how do I turn that off? Can we get another? There we go. Voila, I did it. Anyhow, that's deep. Because we are powerful. If you followed me for any length of time, and you know I've always said that we are some powerful human beings. Um, Matter of fact, your homie, bless his soul, he came out and said that my people are the people. Yeah, okay, we are. Um, but also too that other book, I believe in Russia, um, your homie Putin, he revealed that the original Madonna was of dark skin. The original Madonna, which I always, like I said, if you feel it in you, you know. If you feel something else, then that's you too. So go where you feel it true for you. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, cool. If you're not, you're not. You know in your heart. Moving on. Jane Bellow goes on to say, the experience addresses state of consciousness not common to the common man and resemble Maslow's peak experience rather than being a concrete, stable reality. This realm approaches intuition and ecstasy. It apprehends an unusual connectedness with the whole of life. Daily existence becomes but an invisible script where what matters is the attitude by which one lives. In the world of thought and relationship, honesty and compassion are the prime motivators, while material gain and loss are secondary. This is this is really an ascension to religious values, not familiar or even welcomed within the context of modern society, but certainly containing great benefit for individual happiness. Our culture has become anti-religious. Interesting. Our society is based on getting, not giving. And even though our words uphold virtue and love as worthy goals, hardly anyone even tries to live by such a philosophy. The regular the regular use, however, can often set the stage for receptivity to this higher knowledge slash level of being. Ooh, and then she talks about higher consciousness. Oh my god. So yeah, like for real, like the beloved flower. Yeah, they talking about studying her, and they've studied her for so they've been studying her for so long. Um, matter of fact, ooh, what she does to the psychological. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna read a bit of the physiological part with y'all. Um, matter of fact, because this is a Tao session. Like, okay, because I said it before. Well, I already said it, and she talked about um, India. Yeah, India is, matter of fact, India is the first. Yes, if y'all know me, I have a love for China because they know. Um, India, too, they are very, very aware of our energy, our frequency, and our vibration. And there are yogis there. Interestingly enough, some of them live on the street because they're high all day, but people provide for them and make sure they're well. Interestingly enough, there are no women, which I have a theory for that one too, but I digress. But yeah, if you're just joining, welcome. I am the Oracle Treehouse, aka the Intuitive Rebel Healer, and today we are getting our spiritual gardening on. Mm. She talks about the future of cannabis or the future of its research. Check this out. The future of, when did she write this book? I think it was like 97. I think. Yeah. All right. Okay. Um, the ongoing research. Actually, it was 96. Interesting. The fuck? Ongoing research with flower therapy has presented the scientific world with some amazing facts. At this time, um, flower is accepted by the progressive medical community for a numerous number of specific disorders, so that, realistically speaking, it is only a matter of time before the entire world embraces the wonders within cannabis, sativa. In fact, the international scientific community is conducting numerous in-depth investigations into the different constitutes of the plant with extreme diligence all the time. The pharmaceuticals of this ancient and received gift of nature is well on its way to becoming the new drug of the future. Synthetics and extracts of the plant, known as the flower-based medicine, are already in the works as prescription drugs. And let's see, as human beings have evolved, have evolved from nature. It has the intact whole flower plant. Its flower was the constant companion of the developing human race throughout history. So has the coevolution of the chemical intrinsities between the vegetable and the human animal progressing since before reported history, whereas the flower sativa plant has been an inhabitant of planet Earth for nearly 500 million years. Whoa! Humans are newcomers of just a few million years old. The connectivity between the two kingdoms is intimately, historically, chemically, biologically, psychologically, and socially intertwined. Because y'all know we have cannabinoids. Even if you are not a person that partakes, your body is wired. Your body has the receptors. They call them cannabinoid receptors in your brain for said beloved plant. And I can hear y'all in the ethers. Well, how is this connected to the Tao? We are all connected. We are the world. Verse 29. And I'm sure I can connect other yin and yang. Everything was put here for me and you. Joan Bellow goes on to say, to temper with the co-compatibility of the makeup of flower sativa and the earth creates who evolved in its shadow and will not reap the balancing wonders that are understood as the benefit of the flower. So yeah, they already know. They already know. Um, there is a spiritual component. Miss Joan Bellow talks about the spiritual component of cannabis in many of the chapters in this book. Who can benefit from what she talks about there as a therapy? And okay, if we're gonna look at it from the Western perspective, doctors saying, okay, yeah, it's a therapy. Have you had your J today? Have you had your J today therapy? Yeah, I know for me, it has definitely helped in adjusting to this thing called life. Here we go. Cannabinoid receptors. There are three types of cannabinoids. There are herbal cannabinoids from the flower sativa plant, endogenous from the body of humans and other animals, and then there are synthetic ones from the laboratory. So the lab can actually make cannabinoids. But yeah, I was just talking about that. We have cannabinoids in our body. We do. We have cannabinoids in our body. Alcoholism. Yeah, because, yeah. She has a whole article here on alcoholism. And I guess talking about the psychological problems of alcoholism and how basically you can die from alcohol. I really don't understand that debate at all whatsoever. I don't. Like, but it's cool. It's cool. But yeah, anywho, I am gonna hop off. If y'all are listening to this on the replay, thank you for tuning in. I do appreciate you. For those who are tuned in live, thank you for tuning in and listening. And go check out this book, The Benefits of the Flower. She doesn't say flower, she says the M word. I'm not going to say it here. But it's The Benefits of the Flower, the psychological, physical, and spiritual benefits by Joan Bellow. She breaks down, like she said, the physical, the psychological, and the spiritual benefits, and how it's part of the earth. Um, Not only did she talk about it in her book, but in my studies, I discovered that she is a she's a female, and she is a teaching plant. What is she teaching you? Yourself. She's also helping you to see, to understand yourself, to understand the world around you, to give you more compassion, to give you understanding, self-awareness. And they about to study this plant. Well, they've already been studying it, but I digress. They already know. They've been known. Henceforth, why? But anywho, I'll be back later. Love yourselves so you can love one another. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Bye.